Good day all. I'm here for us to discuss on the bank requirements for opening an account. There are several requirements banks expect us to give them before opening an account. The bank requirements for opening an account. Before you become a bank customer, there are conditions under which they will accept you. So we're here to look at those requirements and how we can fulfill them to satisfy the bank for our own business growth and our life fulfillment. Now, we'll start with the definition of a bank. There are so many definitions of a bank. People have defined it in various forms, various dimensions, but primarily, bank is an institution licensed by law to accept deposits from the public and then take those deposits from surplus and to deficit units by a process called financial intermediation. That is simply what bank is all about. Moving money which they have collected by way of deposits from surplus end where they have it and then to deficit units where it is needed at a profit. Because this money they have are depositors' funds and the banks use it to do business by lending. They could give in form of promissory notes, but they give it out to customers who need them, so they will bring back the money at a particular date with interest on top of the money. So, primarily, banks into acceptance of deposits, and also they're into lending of these deposits which they have accepted from the public and taking it to areas where it is needed at a profit. Now, we have various types of banks. We have commercial banks, we have merchant banks, we have development banks, microfinance banks, agricultural banks, specialized banks generally. One form of development banks. So whatever category it is, these banks are there to serve customers' need. Every bank is taught out and licensed to serve particular niche of customers and also to satisfy the need of customers in that particular area where they are operating. So there are commercial banks, there are development banks, there are infrastructure banks, there are microfinance banks, there are Islamic bank and even the central banks of various countries, and also we even have World Bank. But whatever is the case, each bank is designed and thought out to satisfy the need of customers. All you need to do is to find out which bank that would solve your own problem and then approach them and then discuss with them. Now, what are the importance of banks? We'll be hearing bank, we see banks. Are they very important? Assuming they are removed in the economy, is it going to affect the economy? So we're going to look at the importance of bank. Can you imagine a situation where bank does not exist? Where will you keep your deposit? Where will you keep your money? How will society look like? Or if it's not properly regulated as it is these days, how will you respond to all the money you have been getting from your business transactions and business processes? The truth is, the banks, if you check the history of how it was formed, see that it's been a child of necessity. It was formed to satisfy a particular need, right from 1800 BC up to 12th and 13th century, up to 16th centuries. Because that in each time when the banks were playing their role, they were playing it to satisfy the needs of that particular community, at that particular time. So the banks help to regulate the economy. They help in the regulation of the economy. You can imagine a situation where there is surplus money all over the country, all over a nation. It's clear that there will be inflationary pressure that will even make the institution of the country very scattered. There will be crisis, human crisis, without bank. Banks help in monetary policy of a nation, monitor the money supply. Because whether you like it or not, there's a way there will be volume of money in the society. It's going to affect even the society. So banks help to find out what is good for the society, what volume of money to be let out in the economy, monetary policy, and also at what interest, the interest rate. And many a time also take place is equally in the fiscal policy, because you have to calculate how the expenditure is made, because if you spend even more than what you have, it's going to still affect the economy. So banks help to do the monetary policy and equally fiscal policy of any nation. They help to check inflation, or what they call inflationary rates, and also the fixed interest rates, know the appropriate interest rate to apportion the economy with, so that it does not affect every other economic activity. Also, banks accept deposits, and also even some specialized items like jewelries, gold, even some whale. Some banks even house it, and other ancillary functions which they also accept to do. They can also do bankers acceptance. They could help to transfer money from one country to the other, help in international business, help in the local business, help in regulation of domestic economy. So banks are very important, and their importance cannot be overemphasized. Without the banks, there's going to be a problem in the economy of any nation. Now, what are the types of accounts that you find in a bank? Sometimes you see savings account, current account, fixed deposit account, and any other kind of accounts, some personal accounts, specialized accounts. So banks have various types of accounts to serve the customers. All you need to do is to find out which of the accounts that will fit into your program. Even these days, they used to have what we call hybrid accounts. You see some accounts that have savings feature with flexibility of a current account feature, or have a current account feature with flexibility of a savings account. They call them hybrid accounts. So banks bring out some of these accounts to service the customer. All bank does in their products and services production is just to see how they can help service the customer's need. Now the question is, what are the types of bank customers do we have? We have various types. We have individual customers, we have commercial customers, we have even public institutions, we have clubs and societies. We have various types of customers. What bank actually does is to look at the society, look at the economy, look at the areas they want to play, and they bring out products and services that will fit into that area. And of course, they have business mindset. They will do it at a profit. So banks are there to help customers. All we need to do is to find out how they can be of help to you in your business, in your individual life, in your family life, in every other thing you are doing. Now the question now is, what are the account opening requirements of banks? Banks' requirements to open an account. Yes, banks want you to do business with them. They want you to be their customer, but they have to have requirements. One of the requirements is that banks want you to be a credible person, somebody of integrity. They wouldn't like to deal with criminals or people that come and cause mischiefs. Then, as a way of requirements, banks want you to come with their bank, fill their account opening requirements. Give them minimum of 2 passport photographs or even 4 passport photographs, as the case may be, depending on the bank. There are peculiarities in this case. Give them evidence for identification. It could be international passport, driver's license, national ID, public ID, voter's card, or any other means of identification that are acceptable within that local community or within that area where they are operating. Then they will look at it, and if they are acceptable, they accept it. They have also other things like utility bills, like water rates, NEPA rates, telephone or communication rates, the bill, what we call utility bills, and other form of utilities. Some banks want you to bring it to the bank so they will know specifically whether you live in the area where you claim you live, and other areas, other things they want to find out with it. So we have mandate cards, which they will give you during the application process to sign. They could give you 2, they could give you more than 2, depending on the bank and what they want to achieve with it. So these are signatures, specimen signatures you give to the bank. These are areas where you put them. The bank will now look at it and then scan it into their system, so that anytime you want to come and do any banking transaction with them, they will check whether the specimen signature is what you gave them at the point of opening the account. You have also two references. If it's a corporate account you want to open or a current account, depending on the kind of, or if even if you want to open a savings account and want to be introducing checks or giving warrants to it, they will require you to do some references for people who know you very well, who can introduce you, who can vouch of your integrity, of your character. Then you can now do business with them. Then, of course, if you want to open other accounts like partnership account, you may require to bring what you call deed of agreement, under agreement, and also tax clearance. These days, you want to open a current account, a corporate account, they may require you to bring tax clearance to know whether you are a good citizen of the country and whether you pay your taxes, which is very important because these are taxes the government use in provision of things, goods and services in the society, goods, infrastructural development, and all that. So tax clearance is also very important. Then if it's a corporate account that you want to open, like limited liability company, may require you to bring like from CO7 or whatever name it is called. These are areas where you bring particulars of directors. And then you also bring something like memorandum articles of association, or what you popularly call MEMAT, where they will specifically say the kind of business the account is expected to run, whether they have borrowing powers, the kind of business they are entitled to do, and also what they call Form 2.3, where they put about the sharing formula. Also, even in the memorandum article of association, they also put the sharing formula of the shareholders. So these are requirements bank need for public limited liability companies. For public institutions, you may also bring other details like approval from your heads of service or any other government official whose duty is to approve the opening of that account. They also have board resolution for limited liability companies as well, where the board of directors will sit at a particular meeting, both the chairman and the secretary would, or any other person the company wants to communicate to the bank, detailing the decision they took to open an account with the bank, and these are the signatories that will be account and a signing mandate of that account. So it's expected that if you want to open this particular account, they may require you to bring all these details. So banks have their requirements, and once you fulfill these requirements, they will make you their customer. And these requirements are important, even doing loan considerations and any other considerations they want to do account status, credit check, and any other kind of status checking the bank wants to do. But sometimes they'll be writing reference letters for you, letters to the embassies, specialized letters to companies, or even letters of integrity to areas where it is needed. And these are the account opening details that banks may require you to do, so that it will help them in taking their decisions and then writing something credible for you. So we have seen the importance of being a customer to the bank. There's hardly any reasonable, valuable thing you're going to do without passing through the bank process. We have seen the various types of customers. We have also seen how the products are designed to help the customer. We have also seen the various account requirements, both the evidence identification, the application forms, the board resolutions. But each particular group of customers have their account opening requirements. And there are peculiarities depending on the bank or the area. So all you need to do now is go to the bank, find out what they need from you, and then provide it, and then you establish a banking relationship with them. So in a nutshell, I'd like you to subscribe to my YouTube account, because I will be giving you other details, other information that will enable you to maintain a very good banking relationship with your bank. Thank you for your time, and thank you for listening.